Oh, come on, Freud. This is the 5th time you've been caught this week doing the deed by your own mother. You see, Freud is busy experiencing a crisis. He's falling in the trap of lust. He's falling in the trap of chasing women that don't even know of his existence or who refuse to recognize him. You see, many young men these days are falling into the same dark abyss of lust, instant gratification, chasing women who don't even know about their existence. And just like Freud, many young men are losing hope. They're losing their self-worth and they're losing the ability to build the best lives that they can possibly build. You see, myself, when I was 19/20, fell in the same exact trap. I fell also into the routine of chasing instant gratification, of chasing women who didn't even want me back, of indulging in lustful activities that got me absolutely nowhere but the gutter. Just think about it. Thousands and thousands of young men, just because of the rise of masculinity as a term, have been saved. We've seen this wave of self-improvement engulfing society, and I do think that if it wasn't for that, many more young men would fall into the same trap. Now, of course, there are still many temptations that surround us. With the internet, everything is accessible at the click of a button. But more and more men are realizing that these things do not bring you happiness. These things do not bring you success, and these things will never fulfill your life. You see, the wave of recent masculinity, even though it is being labeled as toxic and destructive, actually is saving countless lives. And I hate it when people argue against it, because what's better than a decent man like Sam, who's hardworking, who doesn't chase the alcohol, doesn't chase the drugs, doesn't chase the women, who only focuses on himself. You see, Sam doesn't chase them, they chase him. And that's the mindset that we need to have, especially as young men. You are not born with that inert value. You need to build up that value over time by improving yourself, your mind, your spirit, your finances, and your body. If you do not start working on those things right now, especially with 2025 just around the corner, you are going to fall back into your old destructive habits. You are going to fall back into that black hole of lust, of instant gratification, alcohol and narcotics that you were once caught in. And you're going to be asking yourself when you're 80 years old on the street, why didn't I try harder? You see, Sam is the example that we should follow. Not only is he a hard worker, but he realized this at a very young age. You see, he wasn't perfect like you and me. He also struggled in the past with his addictions to instant gratification and adult content, yet he managed to be the best person possible and made a success of his life. Contrast that with Freud, who's still struggling to control his urges. Now, just ask yourself this one question. Which one would you want to be between Freud and Sam? Would you want to be someone who needs to beg for attention, or would you want to be the man who everyone looks up to, who everyone respects, and who women can't resist at all? You see, besides the fact that masculinity is being labeled as toxic, there are so many agendas against that. There are so many arguments being launched against self-improvement and against traditional masculinity that is becoming crazy. It's becoming hard to cope with everything. But what you need to remember is this: we need strong, capable young men. We need strong, capable young men to protect their nations. We need strong, capable young men to take the world forward in its stride. So yeah, you might think that masculinity is toxic, and that's your opinion, but just remember that it has saved thousands of lives of young men and will continue to do so well into the future. See you next time.